So just for introduction, I'm a supervisor since 2012. I'm a member, a member of PSF. It's the Federation French Supervisor Federation, and this federation is a member of European Federation of Supervising. I am a psychoanalyst and psychotherapist. I do organizational systemic constellation, and I'm also a psychogenealogist. So we're going to have a few minutes, 10 minutes inclusion warm up. Then we're going to have a time with listening and sharing, 5 minutes silence, self-reflection time in a two-part, 10 minutes, then 5 minutes. And we come back in a sharing in a big group at the end. And if I have the time, we can share a little surprise, but we'll see. So Lily, I'm going to ask you if you can break out groups for 4 people. And there are 3 questions that I would like to offer you. What goal I want to achieve as supervisor during this hour? The second one is, what kind of feelings pop up in me when my clients face a difficult time during their supervision session? And the third one is, when I face hard moments, how I deal with them. Just to share and to have the first moment together. So with 4 people, if you can.
Okay, so everyone's back, Samia. It's up to you now.
Okay. Well, so we answered and we shared. You shared some deep question that you face, all of you as a supervisor. The question, the fundamental question is how I deal as a supervisor when my clients are in a hard moment, and how can I find the balance between be with them and connected deeply with myself, because myself is the place where I can be the more safe. And even if I struggle with hard emotion, where even if I'm not comfortable that to do not help my client, or when we can have some hard moment, that means when I touch something to my client and he didn't or she didn't want to see it, as a supervisor, we can be in a difficult moment when the client says, for example, we don't have to focus on this point. I don't want to be focused on my personal life or in my, this is more to psychology, or this is a point that I don't want to go through. And you know that this is the good path to accompany your client as a supervisor. When we have this kind of difficulties, we can feel like we're not professional, or we are not in the good place, or we are wrong when we try to follow our intuition. And it's a moment that we have to deal with hard emotion as a supervisor. For me, the most important moment where I have to deal with the strong emotion as a supervisor, it's not when my clients or the team express their situation, even if it's awful or hard, and express their difficulties, but when my posture as a supervisor is uncomfortable because the client don't want to go in a certain way and don't want to face the work that he has to do during his supervision. Because I'm not here to tell him just what he can do differently or to accompany him or her to go further, but I'm also here as a supervisor to touch something that he wants to avoid, and to avoid the black the how you say the the angle more I can't find my word in English, excuse me.
Blind spot.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, my blind spot. And when the client doesn't want to face his blind spot, and when we see that this is the good point to accompany him or her to face them and to transform the posture as a coach or as a supervisor, we can have this kind of difficult and hard moment. So when the emotion pop up inside us and there is like something struggling between two people or a team and me as a supervisor, what can I do? How can I deal with that? I'm speaking about this kind of moments, even if the hard moment could be in the context or in the group of the people with who I work as a supervisor, a team, for example. But one of the ways that I find is to share and to listen to the client with no judgment, as we do all of us, but with something more, that means with the connection with my body, my emotion, and the sensation that I have. These emotion, this sensation, and the connection with the earth helps me to reconnect with something deep in me and helps me to calm down the emotion who pop-ups and all the thoughts that came in my mind, like I'm not enough professional, perhaps I'm wrong, all the thoughts that came here. I have to calm down and to go back to my body. The next moment that I want to share with you is a space of deep listening and deep sharing. Deep listening, I mean, deep listening is deep listening about what I feel, what I really try to avoid or try to go on. What am I doing actually? What I want to say, what I want to express deeply. And in the same moment, I have to listen my emotion, but the emotion and the process of the speaking of my client, of my coach, or the CEO or the manager that I supervise. So I invite you to try to have this new experience. First, confidentiality, that means all the topic that we are going to share gonna stay in the circle of 4 people that you're gonna participate. You're gonna have breakout of 4 people, and all the topic that you're gonna speak about gonna be confidential. The question is not to force yourself to speak. You can just decide to speak, to share the question about the emotion, about the hard moment that you face, the hard time that you had these few weeks, or the hard moment that you are afraid to have for the next weeks. But just something who comes in your heart. The question is not to speak for speaking. The question is to speak from your heart about something that really has importance for you in this moment, in this period. You can just decide to speak, and if you have any question, the question has to stay in the circle. There is no answer. It's just how I can express myself and be listened by the others with heart, no judgment, consciousness, presence of the body and of the breathing. Just be completely there for each other and for yourself. But don't try to answer or to give any tips or advice. This time of sharing and listening is to train ourselves to listen deeply with the heart, with no judgment, and to share from the heart and to express what deeply we want with no intention of having any answer or any tips. Am I clear? Is the space of deep listening and sharing, is it clear for you, my speech about that? If you have any question, just let me know. So no interruption. The stuff is to say your name, even you know the people who you are, with who you are. You give your name at the beginning, and you give your name at the end of your speech, and no one interrupts you. Just to have a space to not be interrupted. Express the most important thing that you want to say. Could be question, could be expression of emotion, could be what you want. It's free, and you're free to speak or to do not speak. And if you don't speak, if one of you doesn't speak, so you're still in silence during this moment, and you notice what happened for each of you in this silence and in this moment of sharing and deep listening. So Lily, I'm going to ask you again if you can break out people for 4, and if it could be the same people, the same group, because you begin to have some relationship, could be nice if it's possible.
Okay,
Lily.
so we'll be in the same group. There will be one person added to group 3.
Yeah. And this group going to have the experience how we include someone else, how we let her feeling that she's really welcome. It's going to be another work.
So are we going 20 minutes? Because that will bring us to 5:02. Is my math right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go 20 minutes. Okay.
Your time together with yourself and with the other, sharing and be listening deeply with no interruptions. The gift that you have for yourself and you give for the other. To continue, I propose you, I don't like the word meditation. It's clear. For me, it's just silence, and have the experience of the silence deep with myself and how I deal with the silence. If my back hurt me, or if I don't feel comfortable, how I deal with all this stuff that brings the meditation or the silence time. So the question is, what can a silence brings to us? And each of us gonna have his own or her own experience. There is no one experience. There is as many people we are, as many experience we have. And each time we have this moment of silence, we can have different experiences. So there is no obligation. It's a proposal. That means you do it if you feel it, but you can do it just for the joke, just to see how it feels and how you're going to deal with that. But you're free to do not do this moment. It's going to be a few minutes of silence, but I'm going to guide this silence. So I invite you, because it's easier, to close your eyes, but you can keep them open and just connect with the breathing out and breathing in, breathing out and breathing in naturally. Nothing special to do, just I feel that I'm breathing. And now I feel my breathing out or my breathing in. And in a continuation, I breathe and notice how I feel. How are my feelings? Just breathing and notice the feelings that I have. I continue to breathe and I decide to be connected with my feet. I'm sitting, I feel the chair, I feel my position, I feel my feet, and I continue to breathe. I can observe all the commands. It's boring. What am I doing here? What's that stuff? My back hurt me. All the commands that pop up during this silence time. I continue to focus on the breathing and focus on the different emotion, sensation that I can have. I continue to pay attention to my feet and my sitting, my position. It doesn't mean I can't move, but I move with consciousness, focusing on the movement, going back, moving my shoulders, or staying quiet. Just focus my attention to the position, the breathing, the emotion, and the thoughts that pop up during this moment. I can write in a piece of paper the commands if I need, but I can continue to feel myself breathing, to enjoy, and to ask to myself, what can this silence bring to me? little by little, I can be aware of the noise around me, birds or cars that make noise, or the people around me, even if they're far in another room, another space. Be connected with the environment, out of myself, out of my breathing, and stay connected with my breathing, my sensations, emotions, commands, and in the same time, connect with the environment, the outside environment, outside of me, outside of the space that I have. And little by little, I can decide to move a little bit and to open the eyes, but stay focused, eyes open to my breathing, my sensations, my emotions, and my thoughts. Open eyes. This is the way, this meditation, where we focus on 4 points: breathing, sensation, emotion, thoughts, with the open eyes, is a wonderful way to listen to myself, but to listen to the others, and especially my clients, the team, like the individual, to be connected and to be the person who can be the partner of the listening of our client. My client has to be focused on himself, and we can help him or help her or help a team modelizing the listening of myself, modelizing the listening of the other, to let him or her think during the supervision process where he is with us. My proposition now is, if everyone came back from, I don't know what.
So, Samia, I'm noticing we're out of time.
Yeah, we just have 5 minutes. Yeah, we finished. If we can take 2 minutes for the people who want to share what they get during this time together, about the sharing, about the listening, about the silence, about the question and the warm up that we had at the beginning. 1 or 2 people can share if they want, shortly.
Or why don't we have people put it into the chat? I think it's an important piece to close, but I think it's important. So maybe share in your chat 1 line of how you're feeling, what came up for you, and whatever you want to share to feel like you're putting a bit of a closure to this process for yourself. Okay. And thank you to Samia for this. It was a really nice, for me, a real deep reflection time. To just kind of ground myself for the beginning of this week. So thank you, Samia.
Thank you for all of you to be there and to be really present to yourself and to the others.
And I encourage everyone to pay attention to the emotions today, pay attention to your self-care today, especially as we've had this conversation, and it may have opened up some feelings, emotions for you. So just to close, a couple of business pieces. We have EMCC presenting on the new supervision framework on September 14th. We have the cultural mindset webinar on October 19th. We have transactional analysis on November 23rd. And we have the poetics of coaching revealed through supervision on December 14th. And all of these are in your mail outs that you're receiving. So pay attention to the times, dates, and see which one you'd like to attend. I see everyone, and everyone seems to be in these really reflective moments. Also, sorry, go ahead.
No, I wanna make a couple of extra announcements. Is that okay, really?
Yes, go ahead.
Samia, I wanna thank you. And in our small group, we got really personal and vulnerable and authentic. And I think that most of you have similar experiences in your group. So thank you, Samia, for giving us this opportunity. And I think we're starting a new chapter. I don't know if people would agree, but now we are starting to experience COVID-19 fatigue. After so many months, I think we're starting to deal with a new animal and how we are going to be dealing with that. So that is for everybody to think after this today. And a couple of things coming up too, other than all of the meetings that Lily shared. We have the Asian Supervisor Network. It's the last Tuesday of the night in the US, Wednesday morning in Asia. So anybody here from Asia who wants to participate, and Jaya Bardeja is going to be doing an exercise on group supervision. And then for the Spanish speakers, there are a couple of people here. I know Jonathan, Nat, Nadia. We're meeting on Friday if you want to join us we're studying the systemic coaching book from Peter Hawkins. And also I am organizing locally a conference every year, and this year is going to be virtual. So everybody's invited. It's October 9th and 10th. If by any chance people are available, Lily is going to be one of the speakers on the conference, and it's going to be on systemic coaching. We're going to be focusing on the book also from Peter Hawkins. So if any, I will send you the details later.
Okay, and one last announcement. The America's Coaching Supervision Network is sponsoring a book. Francine is the lead editor. We're looking for submissions, so if you're interested, get hold of Francine or have a look on our LinkedIn website for more information. And with that, I thank everyone. Look forward to our next session, September 14th. Have a great day and week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you all. Bye-bye now. Have a good week.